It's Sunday, July 5th, 2020. I hope everybody had a fantastic July 4th. We are so blessed. If you're not laying in a hospital bed tonight, you are blessed. If you're living in America tonight, you are blessed. We should be very grateful, and we should get on our hands and knees every night and thank God that we live in America, that we're not laying in a hospital bed this evening. We have a lot to be thankful for. And I thank God every day for what I have. And you know, too many of us believe because we're not living in a big house or driving a big car, somebody has it better, that we're not blessed. Let me tell you something. If you're able to watch this video tonight, if you have 2 arms and 2 legs, you're not laying in a hospital bed, you're not dying, you woke up and breathed the air today, you had a meal, you are blessed. And you should thank God tonight on your hands and knees that He's blessed you with another day of life. I want to start this video tonight, and I want to talk about a few things before the week sets off here. So much happening, and I do hope all of you had a great 4th of July, and I hope that we all appreciate our freedom. Even though we've lost a lot of it, we still have more than anybody else, and this is why we need to really be paying attention to what's happening in the world, politically, socially, and financially, because we don't want to lose any more freedom. But there was some people that sent me a video yesterday on July 4th, and it was pretty disturbing. Not very far from my house, about less than an hour away from my house in Riverside, California. I live in Riverside County. There was a food bank giving out food yesterday, and there were hundreds of cars. The mile was estimated, the line was estimated to be 2 miles long, 500 plus cars on July 4th, okay? A 2-mile line, people waiting for food on July 4th. Now, I do believe there's a great possibility we're gonna see another stimulus check coming. And there's going to be a lot of people that need that stimulus check, there's no doubt. With the amount of people unemployed now in America, obviously a food shortage is taking place because we have never seen, like the one we just saw in Florida, now the one that we're seeing out here in Riverside, California, 2-hour lines with people waiting for food. So obviously people need help. We will probably see a stimulus check in late August. Unfortunately, it won't come sooner because Congress went on vacation on July 3rd. They will not get back till July 20th. Is that unbelievable? With everything that is happening in the United States of America, everything happening with this economy, Congress takes a vacation for nearly 3 weeks while people are waiting at food banks in 2-mile long lines. It's unbelievable. But here's a question. What if that stimulus check isn't passed? What if the Dems say, no, we're not going to pass it, just to hurt the president's re-election? That's very possible. Very possible. Imagine how much more pain will be felt if that stimulus check does not come. Also, as we've just celebrated July 4th, I thought this was an interesting article on The Hedge. China accounts for 94% of U.S. firework imports. In 2019, China accounted for 94% of total U.S. fireworks that were imported, amounting to $315 million. This 4th of July, obviously the economy is in dire straits. We ordered a lot less fireworks, but what's amazing is we can't even celebrate our own 4th of July without the help of China to make our fireworks, okay? They make 94% of the fireworks imported to America. If they didn't make these fireworks, we wouldn't even be able to celebrate here in America. Again, our dependency and reliancy on foreign countries like China, absolutely amazing that our fireworks that we celebrate our independence with every year are made in a communist country like China. Another article I wanted to go over with you. Things don't look good in Vegas. Nevada suffered biggest economic blowback. And this was another article I read on The Hedge yesterday. And I had multiple people over the weekend send me videos and pictures from Las Vegas while they were there, and everyone was telling me how slow it was, how quiet it was. To them, they were telling me it seemed to be a ghost town. Now, I've heard reports that some of the casinos are busy, but for the most part, the city overall, from all accounts that I'm being told, is a ghost town. And when we look at what supports places like Vegas, it's tourism. Tourism has been absolutely decimated. Even out here in the Palm Springs area, we rely on tourism. We have a lot of casinos here, a lot of entertainment. We've got Coachella Fest, the largest music concert in the world. We got Stagecoach, the biggest country concert in the world. And we've got a lot of big events here, and they've all been canceled. And so it's cost this county, this valley, hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's going to cost this valley not just hundreds of millions of dollars, it's also going to cause more problems with the local economy, such as housing, tourism, less people. I can tell you, over this 4th of July weekend, it was a ghost town out here. Absolute ghost town. I've never seen a 4th of July out here in the Palm Springs area as quiet as the one I just experienced yesterday. Nevada, we look at, again, the tourism problem in Las Vegas. What is that going to mean for mortgage delinquencies? It's going to mean more delinquencies. It's going to mean defaults coming there to Nevada. 30% of employment in southern Nevada is leisure and hospitality. Just like so many jobs here where I live, it's leisure and hospitality. It's resorts, hotels, entertainment, golf courses, things of that nature. And what happens when people stop coming out here? Again, less people have work, wages get cut, hours get cut, people start falling behind on their mortgages. We start to see a rise in defaults. People start missing car payments, credit card payments. And one of my big concerns here is what's going to happen after July 31st when the $600 bonuses come to an end. People are going to get, on average, a 61% pay cut. This is going to be huge. People are already suffering, but when they get a 61% haircut starting July 31st, we're going to see some big problems in defaults of mortgages, car payments, credit card payments, what have you. People are going to start really falling behind. Here's another article today titled, U.S. Auto Sales Plunge in Q2 with General Motors, Toyota, and Fiat suffering 30% drops in sales. You know, there have been people out there telling me that auto sales were doing great, that their local auto lots were busy. But according to this, when we look at the national numbers, auto sales are literally in a depression. U.S. vehicle sales for major manufacturers like Toyota, GM, Fiat were all slaughtered in the second quarter of 2020. Sales for all three manufacturers were down more than 30% in the second quarter. And this is just another bellwether of what is happening in your economy, and another reason why you need to be preparing, why you need to be very, very cautious of where you're spending your money right now, why you need to be very patient. Sales are coming. I believe we're going to see huge sales in commercial real estate, huge sales in the housing market, huge sales in the auto industry. Sales are coming. General Motors sales fell 34% in the second quarter. Fiat sales fell 38.6%. Toyota 34.6%. Nissan sales plunged 49.5%. Is this not telling you something? You know, I had somebody write me on Facebook the other day saying, I've been talking about this economy for 3 years, 5 years, whatever they said. And I guess these people are just blind or just oblivious to the English language or to common sense or to truth and reality. I don't know which. But when you have half your population, half your adult population of your country jobless, that's kind of a big deal. When you look at these auto numbers getting absolutely obliterated, it's kind of a big deal. Fleet sales have plunged and continue to plunge. And, you know, when you look at the percentage that some of these automakers, 20, 30, 40, 50% of their sales are dependent on fleet sales. Corporate, government, rental car companies. This is what's been holding them up while the economy's been slowing down. They've been able to get by with these giant fleet sales. They don't have it now. The rental car companies are in big trouble. The government not buying as many vehicles now, and of course the rental car companies not buying as many cars now because people aren't traveling, people aren't spending as much money, so people aren't renting cars like they once were. But again, going back to these people who want to criticize me, want to criticize people like you who say the same thing, been saying the same thing for a few years because the writing has been on the wall. We collapsed back in 2008. It never recovered. They just tried to paper over the 2008 collapse with a lot of money printing, quantitative easing, a lot of artificial injections, 0% interest rates, all this massive manipulation, all these magic tricks, and people believe that everything is okay. Take away the 0% interest rates, get the Fed out of the stock market buying everything, including junk bonds, and see where we would be. Take the credit card away from the consumer right now and see where this economy would be. It's being held up with artificial injections. It's being held up with credit cards. And it is going to be very, very explosive when this thing comes crumbling down. We are going to see a reckoning, a financial reckoning in America, and most of you are not going to be surprised. I'm only surprised that it's taken this long, but to the people out there who continue to think everything is okay, continue to believe that everything is okay because the Fed is manipulating everything, that is not a free economy. Economies like that are not going to last forever. The Ponzi scheme is coming to an end, and you can do whatever you want with the stock market, but the economy is crumbling right before your very eyes. So I don't care if the Dow Jones goes to 90,000. If 80% of this country doesn't have a job, 50% already don't, what are you going to say when it's 70, 80% of this country doesn't have a job and we have massive hyperinflation? Are those people still going to believe everything is okay because the Dow Jones is 90,000? I don't understand it. And these people in the stock market, what are you going to get paid in? You're going to get paid in US dollars, paper fiat currency that is going to buy nothing. So be very, very cautious. Make sure that you are protecting your wealth today, that you own assets like land, like gold, like silver, like food, like water, like security, because you're going to need it. Things are going to get very, very explosive here. So something very interesting has been happening over the last couple months. You know, we've been told that this infection is going to prompt the end of physical cash, the US dollar, paper currency. And we've heard words like digital currency, digital money everywhere. We hear arguments daily about the cashless society being more friendly and infection free. And there's no doubt that people are using digital money more often than they are cash as a medium of exchange, especially now that people are sitting at home, they're staying at home, they're ordering online, so they're using other options other than physical cash. But what's interesting is cash in circulation has actually been growing strongly, and people are stockpiling cash, even though they're using the cards more, they're using that digital currency more than ever. But more than ever, they're stockpiling cash. And I think that's because people are beginning to wake up and they understand that if you don't hold it, you don't own it. So people are using digital cash more than physical, but they are stockpiling more of the physical than they have ever done. So this to me is another bellwether that many people do not trust the system. Many people are waking up to the fact that if you don't hold it, you don't own it. And many people are believing that they are going to be their own central bank. Now, if you're stockpiling cash, be very careful where you're putting it. I don't trust banks. Keep the minimum, maybe spread it around in different banks. Have locations that you can access in a time of emergency. We could see the potential of banks shutting down in America if things get bad. We could see the ATMs shutting down. We could see limited availability to your money. You may be allowed to get $100, $200 a day. This has happened in other countries, so don't be naive and believe that it can't happen here in America, because it can. So be careful, be your own central bank. Same thing with physical gold and silver. You want to own the physical, you don't want to own the paper, and you don't want to keep it in a bank. You need to keep it in locations spread around that you can access in a time of emergency when you need it. Article yesterday on CNBC, experts fear the end of eviction moratoriums could plunge thousands of people into homelessness. Now this goes back to what I opened up with on this video. Yesterday in Riverside, less than an hour from my home, over 2 miles of cars lined up at a food bank to get food, free food on the 4th of July. Now, eviction moratoriums nationwide are set to expire later this month, potentially thrusting tens of thousands of people into a housing crisis. Congress in March passed a federal mandate prohibiting evictions or foreclosures until July 24th. So this is going to be a huge month. So these moratoriums end July 24th, the $600 bonuses end July 31st. So I think we're going to see some very big things happening with this economy heading into this summer. The deadline is fast approaching. If relief isn't passed by Congress, renters will be forced onto the street. And I'm going to tell you, right here in my county, I'm seeing more and more people on the streets, more and more homeless. I'm going to be in Orange County tomorrow. I'll be shooting a video. I'll be putting it on Patreon. I'll also be putting it on YouTube. I'll have a couple different videos. So make sure that you come over, check out my Patreon channel too, because I'll be putting up another video this week. Hope to get 2 videos up on Patreon this week. And we'll be reflecting on some things in Orange County. We'll be taking a look at what's happening with the economy in Orange County, what's happening to the retailers, the restaurants out there. Be very interesting. Here's another article. Storm waiting to happen. The average American's power bill is about to rise as much as 30%. So as things go from bad to even worse, more homelessness, people at food banks, people running out of money, running out of the bonuses, running out of stimulus, running out of unemployment. We're heading into a very hot summer. 113 degrees here where I live. And imagine if you're running your air conditioning 24 hours a day, it starts adding up. People with no jobs, running out of $600 bonuses, burning through their savings, tapped out on credit cards, now are going to have to contend with a very hot summer. People are stuck at home, not at the office, because many people aren't working. So where are they? They're at home running up their utilities, their power bills, which are expected to rise anywhere from 25 to 30%, while yet 50% of this country is not working. So who is going to pay the bills? Last article here on yahoo.com, second wave of closures wallops California restaurants. Here we go again, and I'm going to report more on this hopefully tomorrow when I'm in Orange County. I should probably have a video out Tuesday. Again, on YouTube, I'll have another video on Patreon. Owners have to cut their staff yet again. They started rehiring people, they started reopening. Guess what? These people have to get let go again. They're back in line on unemployment. So these unemployment numbers continue to stay over 1 million a week, and we'll get the new numbers out this Thursday. Expect them to be well over 1 million. We went from limited seating now back to no dining, takeout only, and I'm seeing many restaurants closed up permanently. And I think the numbers are going to be horrific by the end of this year when we see how many restaurants are no longer coming back. Ask yourself, how many restaurants can actually make it financially without indoor dining? Yes, Taco Bell, McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Burger King, all the corporate big boys can. They've got the drive-thrus, but the mom and pop, small Italian restaurant, small Mexican restaurant, Chinese restaurant, the small mom and pop burger restaurant, they don't have a drive-thru. They depend on diners coming in. The retailers in those areas depend on those people coming to eat for lunch and dinner, to shop in those areas around those retailers. You know, the restaurants attract and vice versa. And this is just going to be a real ugly mess. And I'm going to report more from Orange County tomorrow. We'll see what's happening out there, and we'll see what kind of effects this economy is having in parts of Orange County. But again, my heart goes out to the small mom and pop restaurants and retailers. Things just look terrible out here in Riverside County. I've never seen a 4th of July so desolate in the Palm Springs area as what I saw yesterday. And today it was a ghost town. So some of the hotels are still closed. Restaurants permanently shut down. The restaurants that are open are very quiet. Some seem to be doing okay with takeout. But what happens to the staff when half your staff is gone? What are they going to do for work? If you're only doing takeout, your rent hasn't come down, your lease hasn't come down, your home mortgage and your auto payments haven't come down. You still have bills to pay, and you're working at half capacity, maybe less. The bills have not gotten less, but your business has been cut literally in half or more, and many people have lost their business. So we'll see how things go as it continues. We'll make a couple videos tomorrow. Make sure you check out my Patreon channel. Thanks to everybody that's come over to it. Again, I'll be putting out probably 2 more videos this week on Patreon. Really appreciate the support. Make sure you like this video, give it a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and make sure, even if you are subscribed, to hit the bell notification down below. Share this video all over social media. God bless every one of you. Thanks for taking the time and watching this video. Please pray for America. God bless.